first intern checked in. Time to log another casualty. Success story.
Indeed, a freaker. Congratulations on being first. Be up on camera in just a couple minutes. I don't even think I'm going to let the whole timer run down. I'm really excited to get into the stream. Got a lot done on Kira, fam. And I do mean a lot. So we're going to see if we can't get her finished up today. But fam, I will wait until we get on the other side of those ads, and then we'll probably get started right after that, fam. Hang on tight. We'll be right with ya. There we go. Rico, welcome in as well. Good to see you, fam. Right after the ads are done, we're going to be jumping right up on here. I'm going to just step away and grab some coffee real quick. Once we get those ads out of the way again, I'm going to get right up on camera. Really excited to get started, fam. Really excited to show you how much work I've gotten done on Lyra. And talk to you about how I fixed about 80 mistakes in the mock-up. So we'll get there, fam. But hang on tight. Be with you in just a couple minutes. All right, fam. Looks like ads have ended. So as promised, we're going to jump right into it here. Let's go ahead and hit you up with that intro. Ducky, good morning. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, fam. Let's do it.
You're watching Damage Industries Corporate TV. Dicked. It's what you get.
This show has been rated I for immaturity, constant innuendos, and complete insanity. We're all adults here. Sort of. Here we go, fam. Ready to jump right in. It is so good to see everybody. Welcome, 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 loves. Let me get myself right up on camera here. No need to stand on ceremony for this. There we go. Fam, good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ducky, I am. You know, it was a weird one, fam. I got up this morning and I thought I was going to have to cancel the stream. My head was pounding so badly. KA was asking me what was wrong, and I was just like everything. Like my ears were crunchy. Migraine was about to pop any second. Like it hurt, and it was really bad. Got up. My first line of defense is to just take a couple of ibuprofen and a little Sudafed, quite honestly, because that helps fight the migraine. And then I proceeded to, instead of reclusing, which is what I usually do, usually I'll pull back into like a darker room or something. We need to go out and shovel. So I went out and shoveled because sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes getting out there, get your holes blessed. Sometimes getting out there and getting some extra activity and all that really helps. And in this case, it did. I probably still sound a little bit sinusy to everybody. I wouldn't be surprised about that. But as far as like being able to function, be on camera, be under the lights and all that, it all just kind of melted away. And I'm really grateful when that happens. And the house smells wonderful on top of it. Sis, good morning. Oli, good morning. It is good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Our house right now, fam, smells like fresh baked bread, which just got done baking. Carrie Ann nailed it. Split top and everything. It looks fantastic. Oh my gosh. Fam, today we've got about 3 hours and we are going to continue to work on Lyra Lusalka. I did get considerable, and I do mean considerable work done off camera as well. Fam, the biggest holdup right now is getting these first round of characters designed. And after we get done with Kira, I've still got 4 more that I've got to do. Okay, for round one. For round one, we still need Richard. We still need Battle. Battle's actually next, fam. I know a lot of people have been excited to see Battles because Battle's mock-up. I'm pushing myself again, just like I did with Kira. That's why I'm doing it in this order, by the way. So we're going to do Kira, and then we're going to do Battle. And after Battle, we're going to do Richard. And then after Richard, we still have Sal. And we have Little Sis's alternative, which is the Manatee. Which I might actually try doing that one from scratch myself. We'll see. And it's Kool-Aid now. You heard Braked? And banana bread, yes. Oh, yeah. Fam, the saga where they brought us way too many bananas, I'll post pictures so you can see the full story now that the bread is baked. But yes, that's where those bananas went. They went into that bread. I have a tendency to do that, Rico. Little bit of the speech impediment that I fought for a while. Running 2 words together. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. May I tell you a story about banana bread? Sure, Ducky. Always down for a story about banana bread. Oh, no, Rico, you weren't. You weren't. Not at all. Not at all. It's been a long time since I talked about it. I had a very, and you wouldn't know it now, of course, but I had a very interesting lateral lisp growing up. And it wasn't really caught until, like, nobody said much about it until I got to college. And of course I was going for theater, and my teacher caught up with it. So my teacher worked with me on it continuously, wanted me to have like this almost radio announcer kind of voice, which is I owe her a lot, by the way. I owe Naomi a lot. Naomi is a lot of the reason I am able to talk, function, and do the things I do now. A lot of that was her. But yeah. And I don't take offense, Rico, at all. It's funny. I still do it all the time. Put the beginning of one word in front of the other. Oh yeah. But yeah, don't think you hurt my feelings or anything, Rico. You did not. I love sharing that once in a while because it's hard to believe now that back in my late teens, I had that going on. But oh yeah, stumbling over words, all kinds of craziness. And she helped me straighten it right out. Took personal time out of her day to give me personal lessons on working that out. It was incredible. I was in a an SCA, and wore a very tight-fitting bodice that emphasized my, gotcha. I had made some amazing banana bread and decided to present it to the king of our group. Okay, I'm with you so far. I won't switch screens until you're done. This sounds like it's a good story. We have to see the rest of this. Fam, I'm going to make a statement that we are, and I can tell by how I am functioning as I create these characters, that we are getting to the point where I'm about to go what I call off book. Off book means that I'm going to stop following the mock-ups quite so closely and have the mock-up next to what I'm doing. And I'm going to start copying it over that way to establish more style. What happened with Lyra's character, fam, and some of this was intentional, some of it was not. But when we did the mock-up, there were a lot, you've heard me talking about right along, there's been a lot of AI ups in this one. I didn't have a problem with that, because fighting my way through those is how I'm learning. But as I realized today, as I was perfecting certain things with Lyra's face and all that, this is starting to look very different from the mock-up. And I think I might be getting to that point, fam, where I'm ready to move to phase 2. And phase 2 is, again, you have the mock-up or the reference next to you, and you're drawing right alongside it, right next to it, to kind of help get an idea that way. And that might be what's next. I'll still use the AI to kind of help me like generate the mock-ups and get the basic ideas. But now instead of doing the layering thing like you've seen me doing, I'll have them side by side and I'll start doing it by hand next to it instead of right over top of it. Zipper, how are you? Welcome in. Welcome. Was holding the bread about chest height, and the king started calling every woman's chest as banana bread after that. Oh my gosh. Zipper, yeah. Yep. And that's it. Elfie, good to see you, love. Welcome in.
Subscription confirmed. HR will overlook your crimes. This time.
And Hoovian, thank you so much for the resub, love. Where are we at, by the way? Carrie Ann's unsolicited doc pics. Get your wood wet. We're not at doc pics, but we'll put a pin in that. Oh my gosh, Hoovian. Let me read this whole thing from Hoovian, fam. Merry Christmas to the best streamer and the best community ever. Oh, Hoovian. Thanks for the laughs, the unhinged moments. Oh, indeed. More to come. The inside jokes that no one would understand, and for making the internet feel like home. Now pass the cookies and don't forget to hydrate. Indeed. Uvian, thank you so much, love. I really appreciate it, both for the resub and the kind words. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll probably disappear and switch to YouTube once I'm done with food, so I can try to get this project finished. Are we close? Are we close? The bread has been removed from its pan and it is glorious. Excellent. Excellent. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes, fam. Working without the safety net anymore. Where if things get tricky, you can trace or otherwise. But fam, it's getting to the point where I look at some of these mock-ups and all that, and I'm like, we can do this. Kira, how are you, love? It's good to see you. Welcome in. Ran out of gas yesterday. Yeah. Well, it's like you've got a project going on there now, Elfie. And I understand, like, that's going to be a permanent setup for you for quite a while. So, and it is. It's tiring. It's so tough when all you want to do is turn it on, right? That's all you want to do is turn it on, sit down, and start playing with it. But you can't turn the computer on until you get your space squared away. I wish I had bread. Oh, but the bread that buys stuff. Gotcha. Mithril! Robert, good to see you. Welcome in, my friend. Hope all is good with you. Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday so far. Has been showing me all your work. Oh, Mithril, thank you. Thank you, thank you. And fam, again, this was the process that I've been telling you all right along. Learning. And I've learned a lot. And fam, I keep getting braver and braver as I'm working offline, you know, when I'm off camera and all that, and try really throwing myself sideways sometimes. Fixing the arm and all that, like Kira's arm and everything, oh, was that jacked up. Same with and actually I still have a little bit of work to do on the collar. Like, I'll show you, fam. There's a lot of stuff that if somebody was just trying to blindly copy or something like that, you'd look at it and go, this is an Escher character, not a comic book character. So, our internet is out and unsure when it'll be back up. Oh, so it's still, oh, Kira, I'm sorry. So your internet is still out. You might be a gusher. Well, I can understand why you'd be excited about that last character I just finished. Robert, by the way, quick shout out to you. I love what you did with that image I sent over to Elfie. I thought that was really badass. Really badass. She showed it to me. We had a blowout on the car last night. Oh, no. Was that really? ChatGPT handled that. Image generator is getting better. See, the problem, Robert, my problem is I haven't been able to like test that out because I keep telling ChatGPT now, because I'm trying to actually teach myself to draw and to do art in this style. So I keep telling ChatGPT to dumb it down. By the time I've been joking around with people, by the time I'm done, all it's going to do is start giving me circles and perspective on the screen. That's going to be pretty much it. But yeah. Mithril, that was about where I was. This has been a real process. Like actually learning something that my entire life I didn't think I knew how to do. And a lot of this, like, I've been at this for about 9 months now. Okay, I actually looked back. Okay, in terms of like when I started having the AI help me with some mock-ups, and then I started going over them and adding my own touches and all that. And I've been watching how the characters have been progressing. And more and more and more I look at what's on that mock-up and I go, I want more, or I want this different, or like this Kira, especially the face, looks radically different from what the mock-up was. I reworked that whole thing. The eyebrows stayed. Some of the lines, I didn't like how it did the lines for like the eyelids and all that, so I changed some of that. I can actually here, I'll show y'all. Fam, here's where we are with Lyra Lusalka right now. We still have to do her hat. We got to finish the Lyra. I've got to finish the little pouch on the side. The collar needs a little bit more work. The arm is pretty good at this point. I have a little thing I want to try over there, but nothing too significant. I think that one might actually be set at this point. One little thing I want to try there. We've got to actually do the layer itself and get those neon green strings in there. And again, get the hat in and finalize our colors. But I'm pretty happy with the colors already. I think I might want to just richen them up just a little bit and make them pop just a little bit more. Because Kira herself is very dynamic, as you all know, but Lyra's character is incredibly so. But I feel like the personality now of this character that we want is just dripping. Hat's not done yet. Hat's not done. Mithril, that's true. They never finish it, they just abandon it. I can't remember which artist I'm quoting at the moment, but I remember that. Art is never really done. There will always be something to come back to. What I do now, fam, as you all know, is we finish a design, finish it, and I put that in quotes. I walk away from it for a week or two and then come back and decide if the character's finalized or not. One thing I've gotten good about is knowing when to look at the project and say, we're done here, we need to move on to the next character, because we've got a lot of art to do yet. And part of what's helping me out too is the fact that these are more comic book characters and comic strip characters that are going to get animated. So what I've actually been doing in some regards is not only cleaning the lines up, but also simplifying some things a little bit. Like down here, fam, in the, well, from where we stand, this lower right quadrant right here, that was all goofed up. They had it as 2 pieces instead of 1. It would have been a lot harder to animate, things like that. The arm over here, that's why the Lyra's not done yet. The arm over here was all kinds of goofiness with all kinds of extra lines. I'm still trying to figure out why, and I'll show you the original reference picture, fam. I'm still trying to figure out why the AI did it like this. Like because, granted, the Lyra hides a lot, but if you can see through that, fam, like once I removed the Lyra and actually like copied over what it had done in here so I could start to work with it, it's just all over the place. Like it took the top part, which should have actually come down to about here, and ran it down farther, really phoned the lines in too. So what should have happened is this should be the top part to match this. This should actually match that. It doesn't. It tried to make that all one piece, but then put those pieces in there, and they're all misaligned, by the way. All of it is misaligned on top of everything else. Now, and there's a reason I'm going here, fam, hang on. Now, this arm and everything was not positioned correctly really either. And the icing on the cake, all of these characters have to be 3-fingered, not 4. So yeah. So as for the collar and the fact that it put 1 piece over here, but then kind of goofed these up over there, we fixed that. I have to align this a little bit better, but I'll take care of that one, no problem. As for the arm I've been talking about, now that the Lyra is out of the way, you can see how I handled that. There's the top part of the sleeve to match that. There's that piece that goes over there. I'm gonna need to bring this down just a little bit further and space it out a little bit more to make it match, but not too bad there. All right, the arm here now is fine. I did straighten out all the lines. There were like 4 different lines that were in the mock-up. I'm like, and it didn't include the bracer at all. I forgot to mention that one. The left arm bracer was non-existent. I feel like it was like, oh, this is all behind the Lyra. We can hide this. The face I was not in love with either, fam, from the mock-up. I'll show you the face real quick. All right. The expression in generally was fine. I did like the way that the eyelids had been handled and all that. Didn't like this line here. So what I did, turned it a little more into my style, added whites to the eyes, changed the pupils up a bit, made them just a touch wider and rounded them off a bit, moved where the lines were for the eyelids, changed everything. Changed everything. Just told it to add the pots. Sorry, Robert, I missed that. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me see here real quick. Hi guys, on a break, but back home safe after, drifting snow while driving. Oh my gosh. CB, good to see you. Welcome in. She looks like she's about to do something questionable. Well, then I'm doing it right. Then I'm doing it right. If that's the case, nailed it. All right. Now, fam, what we're going to do. Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. That's what we were trying to capture. The first couple of times we tried to do mock-ups and all that, we were not happy with what we were getting. Not even close. Not even close. I kept trying to... the characters, and a lot of this was on me, fam, too, and how I was communicating, but it kept ending up looking a lot like Arya's character, and I'm like, no. That took some work. That took some work. So I wanted Lyra Lusalka, not Arya as a dwarf, is the point. Oh man. Oh my gosh. Fam, while we're here chatting a little bit before I dive headlong into my art software and all that and get myself distracted, we are at the last day of catch-up. Not the last day of advent calendar stuff, but the last day of catch-up. We have 4 more days to open up today, 11, 12, 13, and 14. And this has been a really fun advent calendar, so I have not been opening this up off camera. Okay, these are all Star Wars Pocket Pops. They have been really cool, really fun. We've been able to geek out over them. So I'm going to do these right now, fam. And after today, we'll finally be completely caught up. No more days of having to open up 5 pops at a time. All right, fam. So this one is for the 11th. Aww. Okay, cool. Luke Skywalker, but instead of holding his lightsaber, he's holding a candy cane. It's Christmas sweater time. What the heck is this? Hang on, fam. I can partially see this through the bag. It looks like Vader with a... Is that a red helmet or a pink helmet? Oh! Definitely not pink, fam. It is Darth Vader, though. For sure. Red and green Darth Vader, no less. This has been a Christmas full of unusual Darth Vaders. Holiday themed, the gingerbread one that's behind me. Santa Vader, yes. Oh, fam. 13th, by the way. Oh my gosh. 13th, by the way, was another snowman. One of my favorites, though. BB-8. This is really cool. I love that. I find your lack of presence disturbing. The truth is, he can't kill us with his force choke. But if he found that out, he'd just kill us all with his lightsaber. Any fans of Robot Chicken out there? All right, fam. Last one. This one is today's. Another Princess Leia in ceremonial robes, fam. This time, all red. So very, very cool. Very cool. Come to the dark side. We have Christmas cookies. Oh, man. All those jokes about coming to the dark side for cookies. And they release a gingerbread Darth Vader. Indeed. Indeed. Better than banana bread? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. It depends on the cookie. What, this one here? Is this the one? Is this the voice you were trying to get me to do, little sister? But this is more of a bad guy voice. Tarkin voice? Almost sounds German, but in English. It actually, you know, Shadow, now you say it, actually, it's because of the voice inflections that I use with that one. That voice was originally my attempt at the Emperor. That's how that voice got started. And I recorded it and started messing around with it a little bit and stored it in the banks for future use, basically. Oh, you mean, the one with Draven? I'd have to go back and watch, I'd have to go back and watch like VODs and stuff like that to hear that voice again. You think banana bread is overhyped? Nah, my wife's banana bread. I'll tell you what, I've always liked banana bread, was never a massive fan. Then I had hers. Changed my views pretty permanently. I always like I said, I always liked it to begin with. So, and I mean, fam, I'm going to say this again. What else are you supposed to do when you order 6 to 8 bananas? And instead of giving you 6 to 8 bananas, they give you 6 to 8 bunches of bananas. I will post the pictures later, fam. This is a true story. All we could do was eat what we could. We gave some of the other ones away to friends. And whatever we had left got turned into banana bread. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll ship you some, Zipper. I hope it arrives fresh, though. I do love your banana bread. I do love your banana bread. But that was the point, love, is I was never the biggest fan. As you'll recall, you handed me a piece of banana bread and I was like, oh, I'm not sure. All right, I'll try it. And then I promptly devoured the whole thing with butter. Actually, Zipper, they are not. They are not sold in bunches around here. All the stores around here handled them in singles. Because a bunch of bananas is subjective. You could get 12 to 15 bananas out of a bunch, or you could get 6. So they would do it individually. What happened was they just switched the system over. That was a fun phone call too. But yeah, yep, they were always done singly around here. 3 different grocery stores. When I was actually living in New Mexico, it was that way too. If you placed an order, it was per banana, not per bunch. That whole thing I just said hurt your head. Oh, it was DoorDash that changed it. Okay. Yeah. Hovian, yeah. That was DoorDash, by the way. That's what KA was talking about. No, it's not. Yeah. They were all sold as singles around here. Every single one. It was, yeah. And I guess it's because, yeah, if it was handled by DoorDash in general that way, that would make sense. Around here, they sell in bunches. And the bunches are between 5 and 7. If they keep it stable. And Noel, you're per pound up there? Which also makes sense. All of these methods make sense, fam. It's not that buying bananas per bunch is illogical, or buying per banana is illogical, or buying per pound. Actually, I like that too. Because then you have a decent idea of what you're actually getting and what you're spending. But yeah. I was always a fan of banana bread until the king made me think dirty thoughts when I heard the word banana bread. Well, yeah. DoorDash needs to do extensive background checks before letting people be hired. Oh, really, Shadow? I hadn't seen that. Ordered 6 bananas, DoorDash switched it. Oh, after you placed the order to bunches. Okay. And yeah, they did refund it, so it was fine. Everybody was cool about the whole thing. It's not like it was some big tale of woe. It's just funny. Ordered 8 bananas. Here's 8 bunches. And nobody's going to really question it. What if you need it for a recipe or something? What if you need to have a lot of bananas for something? That's not, especially around the holidays and all that. People bake big recipes and everything. I can understand why it wasn't questioned, but wow. They brought those over and it's like, that's a lot of bananas. Oh, man. A lady in Indiana pepper sprayed a customer, or really? That's weird. That's really weird. Oh, it was never removed from their delivery menu. Okay, but it's out now, right, love? When we went back in and looked, now it's just bunches at this point. They took that particular item out. So, Shadow, I can't speak to that stuff. I really can't. I mean, there's always going to be somebody that goes off into left field somewhere. Our drivers around here have been awesome. Not that we use them often, but when we do, we've never had a problem. And they have been really fantastic and really friendly and, quite frankly, really quick on top of everything else. So, there we go. All right, fam. Anyway. Grind through the orders, yeah. Yep. That's why whenever we use it, Zipper, we try to tip well. Because I get that. I get that's where a lot of the income comes from and all that, so. As somebody who lived on tips for a lot of his life too, I get that too. So, yeah. Oh, you got your premium bag now? Oh, Shadow, nice. Very nice. Oh, the Wandering Empanada. Yeah, he was, but that wasn't anything outrageous. That was him getting overzealous and grabbing too many orders that were all over the map. So then he ended up with people unhappy with him because people got their food cold. Wasn't an extreme case, but he was, yeah. Yep. And he did it to us twice, actually. We got him for another order after that, and he did it again too. Yeah. But that's not like doing anything bad to the orders or anything. That's just taking too many orders and not making sure you could get them in a sequence where you could drop everything off and get everybody's food to them hot. That was the problem there. The Wandering Empanadas, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Should have been a straight shot, fam. No problem. But what the driver had done was they had taken a bunch of other orders along with it. So I watched, like it was actually showing me on the phone. I watched as this driver went from where the store was everywhere else but our direction. And it got to us late and it got to us very cold. And I was like, oh, and it was pretty easy to figure out what had happened. The bigger problem I had was after all that hassle that DoorDash wouldn't take care of it. Something hooked up in their automatic system or whatever. But when I went in and tried to request the refund or at least a partial refund for the cold food, it locked me right out. It's like, no, there's no refund for this option. I'm like, what? So yeah, yep. The rest is tips, Oli, yeah. Oh yeah. And he did, Carrie Ann. Yes, he did. That's very true. Went a long way out of his way. I know some people DoorDash and Uber Eats at the same time. Against policy, but they still do it. Spirit, how are you? It's good to see you. Welcome in. Oh my gosh, my friend. How's everything been? Happy Sunday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Using another app as well. DoorDash will, oh, okay. They'll go to the same area. That's probably what it was then, Oli. Like it was, by the time he finally got here, like it was too. It was cold. Yeah, and Hovian, again, it could be, as everybody else is saying, I hadn't even thought of that option. That maybe they were using multiple apps at the same time and just trying to run everywhere. And that's the only time, by the way, fam. It was just that particular driver, too. The second time, by the way, that driver was late, they weren't anywhere near as late. The second time, they were a lot closer to on time. I walked out to the car and he jumps out of the car, right? I was just gonna go grab the food. I wasn't even mad, wasn't even thinking about it. He jumps out of the car. I didn't even realize it was him. He's like, I'm so sorry I was late. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, it's okay. Can I have my food? Things are getting better. Had a break. Oh, Spirit, I'm sorry to hear about the breakup. Doing well besides that. How have you been? Spirit, I've been excellent. Beginning of this year, really rounded the corner and pivoted to some things we wanted to really get working on and get started on. So what we've got going on right now, I'm going to give you the short list, okay? Because there's a lot to this. But besides Creative Free Flow, which is what you're watching right now, which is the live stream side, we have multiple YouTube projects running at the moment, all based around the radio station. We have Agents of Chaos, which is gameplay shenanigans. We started out in 76 over there, but we're starting to expand that to other areas. And on top of all that, what you actually I'm about to show on screen is another one of the characters for our video game that we're working on. We're building a game. We're hoping to have it out by Q2 of 20. I actually said that wrong, by the way. I said 2026, I think, initially. 2027. By Q2 2027. We're thinking it's gonna be at least in a year and a half before we get everything together, because we're doing it right. We're not just slapping it together. Actually creating characters from scratch, creating an entire universe from scratch. This game was originally supposed to be a one-off practice that I was going to build into the first chapter of the main game we're building. And the more we did these characters and the more they came to life, the more we realized that this needed to be its own game. So we decided to expand the project greatly. Something that was just supposed to be an aside and help me learn became a passion project. A lot of the characters are based on community members and otherwise. I had a lady ask where I was going once I had her order. And another. Be telling you I have more than one order? Yeah. Gotcha. But things have been good, Spirit. Overall, things have been really good. A lot of learning on my part. 9 months ago, I couldn't do this. I'd have to follow something blind and trace it completely, and if something was off, oh well. Not anymore. What I've been doing is I've actually been using AI to teach me how to draw. Simply put. So as you can imagine, when we first started doing the mock-ups and all that, it was a whole lot of tracing. Getting used to, one of the things you got to learn is how to hold your brush. And that's a lot of what I was doing, was learning how to hold the brush. That's an analogy I've been using a lot more recently because it's the truth. Figuring out the tools, how to use them quickly and efficiently so that I can struggle with artist issues, not how am I going to make the tool do what I want it to do on screen. Once I got past that part, then I started heavily looking at the mock-ups and going, I don't like that. That's not right. I want to change that size or whatever, and started doing it. Now I have the AI doing more and more basic mock-ups, and then I do all of the flourish on top of that. What I was talking about at the beginning of the stream, though, is we're about to move on to the next phase, which is where I'll do a mock-up. I'll have it setting to the left as a reference, and then I'll have an image on the right that I'm actually making. What I'm excited of with that process is how is my art style going to come out? That's when the art style becomes a whole lot more you. And you really start to find yourself. So now don't get me wrong, the characters we've been creating already, very much us. But I'm curious to see what changes when I do that for the first time. It's going to be a little bit of a struggle too. For sure. If anyone has any questions about DoorDash, feel free to reach out to me. Zipper, it will be. Actually, Zipper, a character that, and nobody has gotten to see Jack, okay? I've just started working on Emery. Emery's a flagship character, by the way. Just as heavy a character as Stanton, Granny, Richard, any of them. But I'm working on him from scratch. Seeing as Emery is the head of the creative division, it seemed appropriate. But all of this creativity, all of this stuff I'm doing, I talk about it all the time and joke about it all the time that I'm channeling Emery. But I think that'll be the first one I really try. On my own, I've been playing around with some different art styles and all that too. So we'll see how this comes out. I'm very happy for you. You're gonna do amazing, and I can't wait to see how everything turns out. Oh, Spirit, thank you. Been gone as long as I am, but here to support again. Spirit, I appreciate it. We're doing a lot of fun stuff. I am so, Spirit, you've known me for a while, so you'll know where I'm coming from with this. I got tired of being a creator and entertainer and following along with what other people were doing. I'm done resting on that, basically, at this point. I don't want to be at the mercy of what Fallout is doing or Marbles is doing or whatever. I'm done with all of that. I want something that's ours. And that's why I'm so excited. This has been a ton of work. But oh my gosh, oh so worth it. I love to learn anyway, so that's been part of the fun of this journey. Next week, I get my new license for reindeer driving, so I can deliver presents on the 24th. CD, that's awesome. But Spirit, it's wonderful to see you again. Welcome back. Oh man, we've been having so much fun. Fam, let's see if we can get in here, by the way, and get working on. Oh, you know what? Oh wow, we've been chatting so much, fam. We haven't done a single pixel of art, and we're already up against our next ads on Twitch. So let's do this. I need to take a break anyway. Want to grab some fresh coffee and walk away and stretch my legs for a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Fam, we'll let the Twitch ads run while that is going on. All right. And that way, if you get caught at any full screen ads, you're not going to miss any of the fun of the stream, fam, because I'm taking a break too. When the 3 minutes are up, we'll come back. And we're going to dive into this and see if we can't get Lyra mostly finished. Everybody, please don't go away. All right, fam. We are back. Ads are going to be done in about 20 seconds anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and get myself back up on camera here. There we go, everyone. All right. Without any further ado, let's jump in and get right back to working on Lyra's character here. Have some little things that we're going to need to finish up, but not too much. I have a lingering shadow off of the mock-up. Where is it? Right there. That I have to take away. So let's fix that real quick. That's an easy one. And then I'm going to actually make that, yeah, let's make that smart. All right. That takes care of that little oddball shadow. All right. This over here is mostly fixed. I am going to shorten up that thumb a bit on the Lyra, though. Once I actually get the Lyra done in there, I'll fix the shadow. Okay. This was misaligned. And I think our bigger problem here is this has to come over a bit more. I wonder if this is as easy as removing that point there. And then just bringing that point up a little bit more. That's a lot more in place. Okay. That's a lot more in place. I think the one other thing I've got to do is just move that out a little bit more and move that out a little bit more. Just to help keep the perspective where it needs to be. A little bit too much. Bring that back. Bring that back a little bit. I see what's going on. Okay. I'm like, why does this not quite look right? And now I know why. It had the perspective off on the front just a little bit. The perspective to the back over here is better. Bottom line is that the roundness of the chest wasn't matching up the way it was supposed to. There we go. That's where I wanted it to be. Harley, how are you? It is good to see you, love. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me scroll this up a little bit here so I can see a little bit more of my chat. There we go. I also have this year for the first time, give children laptops through my new charity here in Finland. 7 years old to 25, doing study work and education. That's incredible, CB. That is awesome. So that's now my new project. I just can't, well, no, CB, I could never see you sitting on your arse. Not once. You need to be busy. Maybe not as busy as you have been. But yeah. Oh, yeah. Idle hands do not suit you, my friend. They never will. They never will. Not call out hours. Yes, exactly. You're doing what you want to do, CB. And because you love it, because it's a passion project now. There's a big difference. Ferret, how are you, love? It's good to see you. I know. CB, and I was thinking about that too. 17 more days, right? And then poof. Then you do all the computer stuff you want to do. Not when you're getting called out to do it. All right. Let's see here real quick. So we've got all of that fixed up now. Let me take a quick sneaky peeky here. Yeah, part of what's going on is that we need to smooth this out a little bit. And I might need a little bit more up there and a little bit more up here. But it should follow a more almost like natural curve there. There we go. Thank you, Ferret. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, CB. Very nice. Very, very nice. I'm going to be working on that charity line this week, by the way. The plan is to launch it. Fam, this is for everybody, by the way. The plan is to launch it this coming Sunday. As I stated in our last stream, and fam, I'm going to be dropping an official announcement on the website and all that too. But a lot of what's going on, fam, is that I've had a lot of requests for that bear in different colors and all that. We're going to do, fam, I'm going to be doing a lot of merch. And what's going to happen is this week off camera is going to all be focused on getting that merch done. Because what I want to see is when we get to Sunday, be able to launch the line with all the different colors. We're going to simply call it the Bear of Sharing. We're not going to call it the Purple Bear of Sharing or Golden Bear of Sharing or anything like that anymore. And we're going to offer a variety of stuff. All profits, again, fam, for those of you that weren't around when I talked about this before, this is in honor and memory of Cheryl. All profits, all of them, are going to go to cancer research. I will let you know specifically what charity we are going to support first, once I've had a chance to research it this week. But I will let you know next Sunday when we go to kick off the line as well. All right, let's get in here. You know what? Let's take care of, now that we've gotten a lot of this down to where it needs to be. Yeah, let's take care of some of the other little miscellaneous stuffs real quick here, fam. Because I need okay, we'll get rid of that outline. Swap that over to the color in question. And then let's get our lines basically squared away here. That's got to be a sharp. Fam, along the lines of what I've been talking about a lot today, once again, I cannot wait. And fam, all I'm waiting on is for it to go on sale. Because when it goes on sale, it usually goes on sale big. And I want to get the perpetual license for it. But Clip Studio EX. And if you're wondering why I'm getting excited about it, go watch a couple of videos on it. And you'll see why real quick. Let's see here. Oh, I see what happened. That lost its smart status. That's why it wasn't bending around the way it should. I'm like, it should be able to follow that curve. That shouldn't be a big deal. Let me get that in there real quick, fam. I will catch up with chat in just a second, fam. This is just a little bit of a focus project here, so bear with me a moment. There we go. We'll chat about that soon. Yes, we will, CB. Absolutely. Absolutely. When we get, once we get into the holidays a little bit more, and I know we're getting close, all right, but next week and the week after, I'm going to be focusing very heavily on, because I want to make sure I start the year right. So I'm going to be focusing very heavily on off-camera, sorting, organizing, making sure that everything is still on track, that nothing has been allowed to stall out. Really, again, the characters that I'm working on right now, this has been the biggest holdup for everything. The radio station, the game, all of that. All of this basic stuff has to be done. And it's been wonderful to be able to do this and get this much practice in with the tools. And I'm learning a lot very quickly. It's been an absolute crash course, so. But fam, yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of a breather. I will get a date on the calendar. Members, I will get a date on the calendar for when we're going to start doing all the member benefits. My hope, I will not promise anything until I know for sure, all right? But my hope is to spend January doing that with all of you. We'll take a month of member benefits, get them knocked out, make sure everybody's good to go. But fam, again, there's no sense in me really looking at that until I've got these characters finished. Because fam, this is what we're going to be animating. To do your hellos, to do the commercials, to do all of that. That's all going to fall into this, so. And fam, as I'm sitting here doing this, I realize there's one more character I've got to draw yet. And that's me. Some people actually requested my character to do it, so as in Jamie, so we'll make sure we get those squared away too, fam. No problem. I think that needs to be, yeah, that should be sharp. We'll put one more smart right there just to round that curve out nicely. Get those ones back to smart just so we don't have anything thrown off. There we go. All right, let's see if that fixes it for us. That should. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, we're gonna go after that Lyra yet. I'm gonna save the hat for last, fam. And then once we get the Lyra done and we add the hat in, then we'll start tweaking. We'll start working on some of the colors and all that, and whatever little cleanup is left. A lot of cleanup on Lyra has already been done. Just have some little things here and there left to do. Internet is back. Kira! There we go. There we go. Just in time for me to get this Lyra in your hands. Look at that. All right, let's grab our background here. And okay. Golden Lyra time. And this was also as goofed up as everything else was, loves. Hey, look at this. Look at this. How do you know it's AI, right? Oh, wow. Wait a minute. Aren't the strings supposed to latch to the front, not the back? Why is this Escher? Oh, man. Put that there. Bring that up there. We'll have one there. And we'll bring it around to that. That's going to need some very specific work, though. First, we'll get rid of that. And then we need to change the color. Let's pick up more of that gold. That's not going to be the permanent color for that, but it's at least a placeholder for us. Okay, let's start to get some of these squared away here. That should be sharp. That should be sharp. Smooth, 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 smooth. I thought we had... I'll square that away in a second. There's something I need to check before I get into that first, though. Okay. There we go. And the big part of this is we just got to round a lot of this out and get ourselves in a good spot. Get that looking a bit more bulbous. Let me back out real quick. Let's see if we're in a good spot. This outer shadow here. Just see if we can round that out a little bit better. There we go. That'll take care of that one. Okay. We'll get some more of our Lyra going here. Where did that Lyra? Oh, there it is. Let me get moved over here a little bit. There we go. Now our friends on YouTube can see what I'm working on as well. fam, by the way, little piece of good news. In the last YouTube creator letter, they were talking about how they're going to have it set up finally so that I still have to send 2 different stream signals out, but I'll be able to broadcast in both horizontal and vertical formats on YouTube, and it'll all be in one combined chat. They said that's coming up actually really quickly. I hope that's the case. Did I, oh no, that is One Piece now. Okay. That I believe should be a sharp, yes. And then we're going to have I'm going to restore those smart points because I've still got to work around the fingers yet when I get back out to the main image. Okay. Gonna have some more shadow to work out there, but I've got to work out the I still got to work out a little bit on the hands there first. So we'll get there. For this, there we go. Okay. Getting very close here. Let me go ahead and get the next piece in. We'll get those perspectives and all that taken care of. All right, let's get these taken care of real quick. Okay, and then what I did the last time, let me see, how did I do that over here? Brought that into, okay, that's right. This one was sharp. Did that in reverse, okay. Trying to figure out, fam, why all of a sudden those curves started fighting me like that. There we go. I'll probably want to redo the other side to match that a little bit more, but I actually like how the right side turned out versus the left of it. Testing the outer limits, yes, Freaker. Just remember you're in my stream, so I control the vertical and the horizontal. All right, fam. Let's get let's get these a little bit squared away. Ooh, do I want to do that rounded? How did we do that? We did do that squared off there, didn't we? I'll try squared off first and then see. All right. That looks a little off to me at the moment. Hang on a sec, fam. Felt like the perspective on the Lyra was off a little bit, loves. Let me see if I can fix this up a little bit. Just fix up a little bit of that shadow there. Okay, and then part of what's... Oh, I forgot I had just cut that out like that. So, let's fix this one.
No Baja Gold for you and no Thrashed Apple for me.
Life sucks. Indeed. Jaren, how are you? It is good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. That actually fixes some of that, the problem with the Lyra too. Some. There we go. There we go. All right. So a little bit of work I want to do yet on the fingers. Not too bad there. Everything else is dialed in. And we just got to get the Lyra finished basically. And that's it. Jaren, again, hope you're having an awesome day. Hope all is good with you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Still working right away on Lyra here. Let's get the rest of our... Lyra taken care of here real quick. Actually, they should all be smart curves. Just to try and get some general placement. Okay. And now we'll have that. And then we're going to just duplicate that layer. I'm going to grab the layer behind, turn that to black. That'll be our shadow. And then we'll just reshape that real quick.
Breathor's eggs,
Oh.
freshly laid.
Oh, Grethor, how are you? It's good to see you. Welcome in. Got distracted and almost forgot to show up. Hope it was a good distraction. We're still, Grethor, we're still working on Lyra right now. Considerable progress and improvements made. A lot of things I had to clean up off of that mock-up. But I'll show you where we're actually at so far. She's turning out fantastic. I was telling the community earlier, Grethor, I'm just about at the point now where instead of putting the mock-ups behind the art as I do it, now I'm going to start moving it off to the left. We're going to experiment with one of the characters. I'm going to get a good grip for where I'm at and see if I'm ready for that stage. And if so, that's how we'll do it going forward. So, Alchemist Factory. I am unfamiliar with the game. Is it almost like a Satisfactory type, but with more alchemy? We just did it with straight lines on the mock-up, right? Yeah. Okay. And I actually wanted to have, let me get the lines placed next. That'll be the way to do that. Let me make sure I don't have any outlines on any of these. I did. Because that can goof some stuff up. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to... just start getting some of these down. Oh, actually, why make life hard when you can make it easy? Oh. There we go. Okay, one more. Okay, now we just got to get these all lined up properly and get the right color on them. We'll take care of that here in a minute. Okay, does that leave us in a pretty good spot? It does. I just want these to be a little bit wider up top. Most fun part at this time is the mini catapults. Oh, nice. It just came out a few days ago. It is like Satisfactory, okay, in the production aspect. And a lot of the shop simulators combined. Oh, nice, but really enjoyable. Like they did it, but they really did it right. I shouldn't say but they did it right. They did it and did it right is the way I should say it. Make all of these strings just a little bit wider. Here comes one of KA's songs. Let's get these shadows for around the strings moved where they need to be. I'm going to actually convert these back to smart for now. Actually, I can take that one right out. Just want to make sure I get these lines all the way up. Where they need to be. Okay. Yeah. Actually, that's looking pretty good. See, are there any little things that I wanted to remind myself of on the mock-up? No. Okay. So let's get those strings glowing. We'll start there. I hate it when something undocks like that and then it won't just, you can't just put it back up there and redock it. It's gotta, all right, I'll leave it up there for now. That's fine. Did not mean to do that. Okay, let's get the rest of these selected and we'll take care of these for now. We'll get that in there as well. Fam, ads are going to be coming up on Twitch, but we will do them the same way we did them the last time. When it comes ad time, I'm going to step away myself, grab a quick drink, stretch my legs a little bit, and that way if you're stuck in full screen ads, fam, you don't miss any of the fun of the stream. Once those ads are done, we'll come right back and we'll get right back to work. Cool, it worked the way I wanted it to, almost. What I did, fam, to give it the illusion of kind of wrapping around this top piece here, just gave it a little bit. I'll zoom in a little bit, just for those of you that aren't familiar. Give it a little bit of a round and make sure the angle stays in line with where the top of the bar is, and it looks like you've actually wrapped the string around it. Okay, Lyra is done. Fingers need a little bit of work yet. Nothing too bad though. They're actually relatively close already. What we are going to need to do for sure is I'm going to take that one out. We'll convert that one to smooth. And that way we can just follow that curve a little bit better. Right there. Without making that look too wonky. Actually, I'm going to take that curve out. And let me see if I can smooth that out that way. That's probably going to be a bit better. Sure enough.
Daylight skies, they fade shadows and light. Our minds will race, we'll never sleep, defending where corruption creeps. Create and flow, so free, together in this rift you see. Every step a delicate game, not really knowing who to blame. Chaos flux, it calls our name. The future's wild, it can't be tamed. Our minds will race, we'll never sleep, defending where corruption creeps. Create and flow, so free, together in this rift you see. A rogue AI has pulled us in, and then the beautiful chaos did begin.
Just had to
Pixels
thin the or
crack,
open up the gaps a little bit more between the fingers, fam.
hearts out on our sleeves.
Just watched another tutorial on hands, fam. And one of the things it's a creator I really like. I've been studying with him a lot because he uses Clip Studio EX and does a lot of the things that I'm hoping to do. So I've been following along with just tutorials and informational videos, things like that.
Power with each passing
But he's doing a tutorial on hands. And the first thing, now this guy is accomplished, okay? He's been at this for 10 years,
lost in
does all kinds of comic books and all that. And he's like, after 10 years of doing this, I still struggle with hands. Accept right now that you are always going to struggle with hands. There are a lot of different techniques. I will show you my way and give you some tips, but ultimately, it's all practice, and you'll get used to it after a while. But one of the biggest things he talked about, regardless of your drawing style, is making sure that you leave some gaps between your fingers. He actually was doing this in the video to show you and remind you that you need a little bit of space. And I'm trying to keep that in mind, fam, as I straighten out these hands just a little bit. But also, I also picked up a couple of new tricks that I'm going to be able to use going forward as well. So just smooth that out a little bit.
I saw the signs you slipped away. Each word was colder every day.
Okay, and then I need to, let me see if I convert that to smart. Yeah, I was going to say it's not going to make much of a difference. Just helps me double check my lines a little bit.
But silence grew where we once played. You said go on, and so I burned. The bridge we built, the lesson learned.
Skinny it up on that side a little bit.
You made your choice, I closed that door. And I won't be coming back no more.
Not perfect, but much better. Okay, let's get in here a little bit. We'll pick that pinky up again. Okay, now for this. I might have to actually bring that down a little farther. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe this is just a matter of bringing this up here a little bit. Bring this down a little bit. We need to thicken up that shadow a bit. And might need at this point another smart curve in there just to just so we don't lose our inner curve as we bring this up a bit more. Oh. Come on now.
You said go, and so I burned. The bridge we built, the lesson learned. You made your choice, so close that door.
There it is. There it is. Okay. Let's go ahead and get that hat on. But first, we have ads to deal with. So fam, what we'll do is we'll go ahead. Let those ads run real quick. They're about to start automatically anyway. I'll step away, grab a little bit more to drink, stretch my legs. And when we get back, let's get Lyra that Jester's hat. Everybody, please don't go away.
Left is endless black.
All right, fam, hang tight with me. I am back. Just need to get myself back in position here, and we will be good to go. I'll go ahead and get my earbuds back in. Oh, got to adjust that camera too. Now that I've returned to a seated position. Been standing for the last 2 hours, fam. I figured it was time for me to sit down. So that's exactly what I did. All right, fam. We are still working on Lyra Lusalka. And we are very close. You go ahead and jump up to this screen here. Now, fam, we are ready for the part that everybody's been begging me for, and that is that hat. So let me get back out to the mock-up here, and we'll get that taken care of. Actually, fam, let me do this first. Hang on one second. Actually, I can do this way. I'll put the shadow down underneath. Oh, that's got to be up on top of that piece, right? Yes, okay. There we go. Metal and strings. That'll allow me to more easily edit it too, fam. After the fact. So I'm going to put the whole face together as well. There we go. Okay. Now, let me get that mock-up for that hat, and we can start to work on that. This is one of the fun parts for sure. Get a rough mock-up going, and then we can take care of it from there. Ooh, mandarin oranges. Nice, especially this time of year. Put them in the toes of everybody's stockings. There we go. Let's take a second and get our curves in basic spot. Elfie, all right, on phone until I get this up. No choice but to finish now. Tried pulling on desk to untangle a loose. Oh, tried pulling on the desk to untangle a loose wire and knocked your internet out. Oh, no, Elfie. Good luck, love. I'm pulling for you. You will get this. You will get this computer together, and you'll get it together today. Apparently, the fates have conspired to tell you that today is the day. Let's get that down to sharp as well. And let's see, what kind of curve? That's right. This one came down to, actually, I'll leave that as smart. Because that needs a second sharp. Just to give it that little bit of a, almost like a flare to the Jester's hat, which is really cool. I shouldn't say flare, I should say flourish. A little bit of a flourish. Okay. Let's hit up that neck shape. Fam, by the way, for those of you watching the screen, you're wondering how I handle curves, or we were talking a little bit about curves and how much better I've gotten with them and how I mastered it. It's a really simple process that if nobody explains it to you, you don't really register. But this is what makes it easy, okay? And why I'm able to do these so much faster now. Every single curve, treat it like it just has 3 points. If you get into a bigger curve, you're gonna have to add more, but I'll get into that in a second. Here's what I mean by 3 points, fam. One at the corner, generally the sharp corner. One right in the middle, that'll be smooth. And one at the end. And even if it looks relatively straight, to help give the image a little character, one in the middle, one at the end. Okay, now this one up here has a couple of different apexes in it. So I'm gonna put one curve here, and I'm gonna put one curve up here. There's a third apex here, and then we get to the 2 sharp corners. One apex to the corner, one apex about out in the middle to the corner. One more apex, close the shape. Now here's where this gets a lot easier. Start converting those to sharp so that you have your anchor points. This one here should be a sharp as well. These 2 are sharp. And this one here, this was also sharp. Yeah, I was going to say, because that's got to come out to that point. There we go. Now, all you have to do is take your curves and line them up. Now, that's relatively close. So what I'll have to do with this one, rather than add another point, which can add more, more warbling and all that, skip all of that, fam. Use as few points as possible that you can get away with. One of the biggest lessons I've learned in round 1, and it's so simple. And again, nobody ever explains that. Then I'm going to do just a little bit of a pull in on that one so it works its way around the Jester's Bell. Okay, this one has a little bit more flourish again, so we're just working around those curves. We'll pull that out a little bit, just so that stays rounded. And now that shape is ready to go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pull back a bit. Let's take our mock-up down. Now I haven't put the outer shadow on yet, but this will at least help me get a good idea of how that hat is doing. Oh, I need to take the outlines out of there too. I left actually really thin outlines in there. Okay. Let's get, before I'm actually doing this in a little bit of reverse order, not that that's that big of a deal. Apex, apex, corner, apex, apex. Actually, one more apex there too. Corner. I'm just going to put 4 points around the outside of this circle, fam. Or outside the bell. I'll show you how I handle that in a minute. Get one of those in the middle. Get another one around the outside there. We'll bring that around. One in the middle of the apex. And of course, fam, the process gets more complicated the bigger the shape. Like when I'm doing shadows and all that. And that's why you have handles and everything, fam, so you can adjust things on the fly if you want or need to. Let me go ahead and grab that. Get that out of there. Make sure we don't have a bad outline. Grab the right tool. Let's start hitting up our sharp points first, because that just makes life so much easier. That needs to be sharp. That one also needs to be sharp. Let's see. That's going to be a sharp one there. And there. Did I get all my, okay. Got all my sharp curves. Let's go ahead and,
Richard built a gadget with a single red light. Said push this if you need battle, all right, but it don't call it
because that's going to be a shadow is what that's going to be.
like a big missile flying by.
Let's get generally within this shape. And then once we can take it back, we can get rid of the mock-up. And we'll get back in here and finish anything else we need to finish up. Okay. With these points, fam, again, any kind of circle like this, 3 or 4 points around the inside of it, and then just use the handles to stretch it out a little bit. One pro tip here, though, make the handles meet in the middle. Don't just make one handle do all the work. Use a couple different ones on either side if you can. Otherwise, you can end up with some very lopsided shapes. And that's exactly what you don't want. Sharp curve that I missed. That is going around there just fine. All right. Now with these ones here, and I'm going to lock that curve in just so we don't lose it. Do the same thing over here. I'll leave the top side a little bit shorter. And we'll expand the bottom side. That also should be sharp. And then I'll use this. And the nice thing is right now this hat is actually pretty much right up against Lyra's head. So I can get the shape without struggle busting too much.
Crazy button blue.
And get the right curve on the head.
This is a big
All right.
man.
Almost there.
Crazy button blue.
Just have a little bit. I've got,
sure
oops.
hope
Oh, I
he's
hate it when it
dressed.
does that too.
Oh, the button, don't push it, she does.
This is why we have Control Z.
No warning, no prep, just a big bad buzz. Battle screaming, girl, I'm losing my mind. But squirrel's like, hey, I made cookies this time. Click.
Get that to sharp. Get that kind of centered out. Just making sure I'm keeping up with everything, fam. Elfie, I see all your comments, and I want you to know I am sitting here cheering you on. All right, fam. And now with that shadow in place, makes all that a lot more lively. Oh my gosh. I don't even have the hat colored in or the bells done yet already. Oh my gosh, these hats.
With the static chip, code in my soul and jazz in my chip, blueprint madness on a microchip trip. Sparks on the floor, now the lab wants more. Richard, stop, battle kicks down the door. Logic's a mess, chaos is best. Let's make some swing while we make a mess. Big swing energy, steam and rhythm from a mad machine. Big swing.
I'll get the hat completely straightened out here, fam. We got more work to do yet, but one thing at a time.
Smoke alarms with party.
Well, I've got to put that back actually for right now.
Science, jazz, and a boom so bright.
There we go. Okay, we'll leave that there. Let me get the rest of the stuff in from the mock-up, and then we can really start to play.
Now my saxophone shoots lasers run. Torque in the groove, got no need to prove. Every dance floor just a test and move. Warning unbound. No breaks, no grind.
Just a couple little circles we got to get in there. Then I'll get their perspectives and all that set, and we'll be good.
Lighting and spice, pipes burst open, but it feels so nice. This is your final safety high.
All right. Let's get that. Just generally matched up for ourselves here.
Gatsby's ghost in a server rack. Jazz age hacked and there's no way back. Blueprints blaze with a glitchy grin. Now let the mayhem swing again. Big swing energy. I built this beat with a wrench and sound. Big swing energy. Now the stage explodes with cloud. Big swing. Reacher's delight. Steam jets fire and I take flight. Big swing energy. Mic drops into the night.
There we go. Let's get that other little bell over here. I'm going to just double check and make sure there wasn't anything out of the ordinary. Actually, no, that's pretty much how we had that one shaped. Mock-up made it a little wonky, but that's to be expected. There we go. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, convert those both to curves so we don't lose them or lose their shape. And this one will be right bell and left bell. I just... Wow, okay. This is so good. Reminds me of Saturday morning cartoons. I'm typing with gloves on. That's why I stopped typing. Oh, typing better with the gloves on? Nice. Go for it, Ferret. You little glove typer, you. Oh, man. Okay. Let me just get some typical mock-up colors in here, by the way, fam. I want to make everything else match up. Let me grab that one first. Okay, that one I thought we did the heavier blue. Nope, reverse that. That keeps everything kind of mixing up there. Is that the same blue though? That is, okay. Good. And we'll dial in the rest of these colors here in a little bit, fam. Well, I'm happy with a lot of the colors already. These are still placeholders. I gotta dial a couple things in for all this, so. Ferret, me too. I've been called a lot worse. I think glove typer kind of sets fairly neutral. All right, fam. Let me just square this shadow away a little bit. I actually want to copy what I did down there too. Okay, we'll make these both smart. Nah, I think that extra one's gonna just cause trouble there. We'll just bend that one around that way, and that'll be fine. Okay, we need to fix this. That doesn't look right at all. There we go. Okay. That wasn't quite lined up with that. Oh, I see what we did. I'm like, why is that not bending right? Oh. One of those curves accidentally got converted back to smooth. That's why. Same thing with this one. Okay. Try to line up a little bit of that. And then over on this side, the only thing that we need to do is line that up a bit, I think.
gizmo with a turbo drive. It makes toasting's jazz, keeps dreams alive. A marvel of science, a stroke of my mind. The world will adore what I've designed.
There we go. Okay. Now what we've got to do, let's get that hat all grouped together.
And it costs too much. Science is chaos, art and flame. Science is logic, rules and aim. Sparks and thunder, proof and wonder. But it all
Separate it from the head a little bit. We got to fix that shadow. I see that.
volts are tight. You are the toaster upside right.
I added fireworks, watch it fly. I'll burn the lab and you'll scorch the sky. Science is chaos, art and flame. Science is logic, rules and aim.
There we go. Okay.
But it all blows up the same.
Looking good.
Goggles, let's turn the key.
You'll fry us both, just wait and see.
All right. Now, here's the point where I look at this and go, I feel like there's something I forgot. But fam, I don't think so.
Science is chaos, art and flame. Science is logic.
I did so much. I took care of so many little things this morning, fam. I don't know if there's really anything left that I've got to tackle with her now. I think we're getting to the point where we're going to just be able to go play with colors, and we don't have much work to do there either. We're just going to make those colors a little bit more rich is all we're really going to do. But already, fam, like the browns and all that, like those colors we've already pretty much established. Like that's a great brown for the hair and the wristbands and all that. Oh, yeah. Let's see how we're doing. Okay. Hat is in place. Let me look at the mock-up real quick and make sure there's nothing else I forgot there either. No, there is not. That one steady green outline, of course, but no, otherwise it looks like we're doing pretty good. The only other thing I've got to do, I think, is I got to change those strings to black again. Because when I go to do the glowing outline, that won't work. That's an easy fix again, though. Let me get it back out to the Lyra, grab the strings real quick. And actually, fam, that's why I did it this way. Because what I can do, let me go ahead and get rid of that. Actually, I think in this case, I'm going to just change the base color of all of them because that's just too easy to do. Because once I put that green outline on there, we're going to be good to go. All right. I'm Kira, I'm debating. Here's what's going on. As a matter of fact, some of the characters that have some of that might get some of that pulled back, and here's why. We got to animate it. And what I've been realizing is that some of the overcomplications, like the extra highlights and all that, that's very circumstantial, depending on what lighting we're standing under or whatever. So I've been boiling them down a little bit to their more basic status. Because again, and I'll use the mock-up as an example. Like all those extra highlights and all that. But that's going to depend on what lighting you're under. And yes. So like characters like Arya and all that, Squirrel is actually okay because I didn't use a lot of highlights there. It was more like pieces of her hair were solid colors. So that's not going to be so bad. But you start doing the extra layers of the colors and all that on there. I'm going to actually pull that. Like I said, I'm going to pull that back off of a couple of the characters actually. Because now that I'm learning a little bit more about animation, yeah. Anything else, though, Kira, while we're sitting here talking, anything else with the colors that maybe you don't like or... I do have one little thing here I've got to fix. Okay, and then that would go all the way actually up to here. And then back out and down, but it would be a... Just thinking something through, fam. Bear with me 1 second. Get another Now, if I, actually, if I fix that shadow over there, I bet that'll straighten that whole thing out for us. Let's see what I can do there. See if I can bring that up a little bit higher so we can get that swoop a little bit better. Let's see. That needs to be sharp. Okay, now I can... Oh. Nope, that's exactly where it should be. Okay, we're going to turn that back into smart again. And we're going to need a second smart one in there. That'll help us get that, or keep that round. like it is.
When I was hungry, I searched for fire to feed my soul.
Okay, let me get in here a little bit closer so I can really see what I'm doing, because this is kind of tight quarters here.
I made my own parade while you just faded away. The road is hard, the night is cold. I thought I needed a hand to hold.
Turn that into a sharp. That'll make life a little easier. And then let me get that out of there.
Faded away, I keep on swinging as the brass will play. Faded away,
Get a smart in there.
you're long gone now.
Round that out a little bit. Let's straighten out that. Straighten out that corner a little bit. Try to get these bends in the right places so that everything lines up like it should. Let's get that turned into another smart curve for us. We'll bring that out a little bit. Didn't mean to do that though. Okay, let's back that out a little bit. Make sure that we're not creating any kind of real mess there. And sure enough, I am. Okay. I think what I need to do
Digital schemes and shadows lay.
is I'm going to bring this down here a bit. Let me actually back up so I can see what I'm doing too.
Memory bathes shadows and light. Our minds will race. We'll never sleep. Defending where corruption creeps. Create and flow so free. Together in this rift you see.
Or do I just leave this where I had it before? Okay, that was still moving that down there.
Every step a delicate game. Not really knowing who to blame. Chaos flux, it called our name. The future's wild, it can't be tamed. Our minds will race. We'll never sleep. Defending where
Actually, no, at that angle, that's good. I had my doubts, but that's right where that should be, especially based on the colors. So, fam, the last thing we're going to have to do here, as I mentioned before, is just richen up the colors a little bit, and we're going to be good to go.
AI has pulled us in, and then the beautiful chaos did begin. Pixels
Okay.
crackle
Let's make sure.
digital hearts
Our color choices remain as they are. Actually, I'm pretty, again, fam, I'm pretty happy with most of these colors. Just have to make some slight adjustments here. Oh,
lost in the loops of our digital home. Happy to write its digital tone.
forgot to bring all the strings down.
We'll never sleep. Defending where corruption creeps. Create and
There we go. Okay.
together in this rift you see.
Okay. So, all right, let's do this. Let's get the that gold color just so. Although I do already really like where that's at. Let me get to my sliders real quick.
The Ballad of Dick Charming.
Now this one, unfortunately, I can't change all the colors at once.
Came to the rift squeaking and oinking. He zoomed across the land, treating everyone like
I'm gonna take a little bit of the orange out of that, swap that out with a
he disrupted trade.
yellow that I found, fam.
He disrupted bowel movements. Everyone felt afraid. A cry for help went across the wide area. No part was left
All right,
untouched.
let's
It was
grab that green
a
and just see if there's anything.
the mighty call. A charming dick came to release us from the pig's thrall.
There we go. I wanted to just brighten up that green just a touch. Now what I did
Got up and came into
was set this up, fam, and I got it all figured out this morning so that every color in the outfit was its own subgroup. And what that's going to allow me to do while we're playing with colors just create a layer effect. The way I have these set up, I can just do a color overlay. And then I'm going to take that color code I just grabbed, drop it in there. And now everything is that new green, which actually I like. Ooh. All right, let's come up with a glowy blue. There we go. Didn't take much. It's just enough, fam, to make it glow and pop a little bit. That's all we're trying to do. Okay. Fam, quick announcement, by the way. For those of you planning on our meeting this evening, I am going to be canceling this evening's meeting. I have some things that I need to catch up on, including continuing to work on Cheryl's charity stuff that we're going to have set up for next Sunday. And I have a couple little things that I have to help KA with as well. I want to make sure that she is completely set up with her new audio setup so we can start doing our recording there as well. But there's been a couple of hiccups she's had to deal with. I want to try and help her with those, so I got to focus for a night. Thank you, sis. I appreciate it. And sis, this week too, by the way, like the other two meetings will happen this week, fam. But this particular one, we're at actually a stopping point at the moment because we finished writing all of the shorts last week. They're all written. Now I have to think about how we're going to fully cement the rest of them together and what writing we have yet to do. So I want to take a week or two to do that, especially with Christmas right here. I want to kind of tidy up a few loose ends, including getting the music store up and running and getting those out. So, oh yeah, Kira, absolutely. Absolutely. I have to figure out one last color though. And I love this blue too. But we're going to need to, again, make it a touch richer. Just a bit, yeah, and a bit more glowy. That's it. It takes just a little bit to brighten the whole thing up. There's the code I need. Yeah, that outfit definitely needed to be brightened up a bit. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, let me get those codes out, as Kira just prompted me. And she's absolutely right. Let's make sure we get these colors in the hat so we don't forget. We'll get that green into the hat. Okay, and then let me get that blue that I had grabbed.
Nuts, 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 nuts,
Okay, and we're gonna need to make these little bells that yellow too. Let me grab that. Not rich enough. Might need to bring some of that orange back a little bit. There it is. Make sure all those are set up. Get that one to the right yellow also. Happy with the hair. Actually, the richness of the leather is good. I need to capture more of that proper brown, though. There we go.
Oh, clay-born friend, my steadfast bed. Oh, clay-born friend, they smash you all and leave me dread. They smash you all and leave me dread. Each part I lose, my soul does cry. What the pluck
No, oh, that makes it a mousy brown. That's not what I was going for.
I wail to the sky. Pluck you my pots of destiny. Pluck you my weary bones retreat.
Kira, how would you feel about slightly purple hair?
At my feet.
I just dialed this color in. I've been thinking about a unique color hair or unique hair color for your Lyra. I don't want to stray too far from the brown. I know that was what you had wanted to. But does that, if I can find like a touch of purple like I've got on screen right now, does that work for you? Do you like it? Do you want me to leave it right where it's at? Or do you want me to try and make it a little bit bluer like the other purple that's on the outfit right now? I like that purple like it is because it shows a darker hair color, but still shows the purple. Uh-oh. Ads are going to start in a minute, fam. I'm going to go ahead and snooze them. No worries. You like where it's at? Okay. I do too. So if you're happy, I'm happy. What I'll do, fam, it's official. For those of you that have a chance to look at the screen right now, meet Lyra. She is done. She is done. Now she goes into the review process, fam. In this case, though, because of some of the extra work I was able to do and establishing more of my art style into this character, I don't think there's much we're going to change, if anything at all. I'm really happy with how this turned out. Really happy with the colors on it, too. So there she is. Kira, I will send you a, I'll send you a copy. Like I did for Elfie. Now, fam, the next character that we have is Battle. And I have my work cut out for me there. Fam, here's the deal with Battle. Okay, Battle's character is going to be beefcake. All right? And we're not going to make it awkward or anything like that for him, of course, but there's going to be certain characters that every time Battle walks into the room, they swoon. I have an idea for one other character that's going to do that as well, but I've got to talk to the individual first before I go ahead and pull that trigger. But we will get there. But fam, when we get together on Tuesday, and there's a good chance, fam, Tuesday stream is going to start extra early because we're going to start working on Battle from scratch. So that'll probably be Tuesday's stream. I might get his outside shadow done ahead of time just so that fiddling is done and we can start to work on putting him together, but there's a lot of work to do there. He's a tough one. He's a challenge. I'm going to be on book a lot more for him because he's, again, we're adding in a lot of new art styles and some elements. He's more detailed. But he's supposed to be. He's kind of a unique character in that regard. So we'll get there. And fam, honestly, getting him done, that has a dual purpose. That's his character for the game. That'll be the basis for his knight character for Demage's Rift. And it's also the character, of course, we're going to be using in the YouTube videos. So that'll keep us busy for sure. Fam, what we need to do now, though, is we need to go find somebody to share this love with. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's find somebody to raid into. And let's see if we can find somebody fun. Oh! Somebody we haven't raided into yet. And we haven't had a chance to go say hello to. Oh, wait a minute. Oh my gosh. Hang on, fam. I see somebody on that we need to go say hello to. Let me see what they're up to, though. Give me a second. Okay. Fam, we're going to go from chill to a little bit of energy. Because our friend Kemi, the DJ, is up and streaming right now. So we're going to go over and say hello. So let's go do that, fam. Kemi is amazing. She was introduced to me by our good friend Jaren. And they're an absolute blast. So do me a favor, fam. She loves Blur, too. So do me a favor. When we get over there, I'm going to drop the raid calls in chat. If you are subscribed, please use that first raid call. If you are not subscribed, please use the second one. It is the same message, everybody. Just a matter of whether or not you have access to our emotes. All right, fam. Let's do it. Raid has begun. One more time, fam. Thank you all so much for being here. So much love to all of you. We're going to be back on Tuesday and starting to work on Battle. But fam, until I get to see you all then, please stay safe, stay healthy, and know that a goofy, creative artist loves you dearly from the bottom of his heart. Take care, everybody, and please have an absolutely amazing night. I love all of you.